outside temperatures of 100 degrees, just part of some 50,000 race fans enjoying this day at the Budweiser Summer Nationals.
And Gary, the Glidden family is involved in an engine change back in the pro stock pits.
Steve, that just shows you how sensitive these guys are to somebody seeing what's in their engine. All what's wrong with the engine that's coming out of that car is a broken lifter. It would only take about 15 minutes to fix it.
But you would have to expose the super secret cylinder heads. It is time for the first race in the semifinals of Funny Car. Bruce Larson in the far lane, Kenny Bernstein in the near lane. Bernstein getting settled in that seat, about to experience 4 G's of acceleration. A beautiful start by both drivers. A terrific drag race. But at the far end by 0.05 of a second, it is Bruce Larson. Maynard Yates and the boys celebrate on the starting line, a 5:57 to a 5:62. A fine semifinal race.
Bernstein makes a brilliant start off the starting line and moves right out, and it looks like he's got everything handled. But as the car moves down course, the old familiar problem of traction sets in, and the car bobbles just a little bit, and that's all that Bruce Larson needs to put it on him and win the race.
And these are the kinds of problems that have been plaguing Kenny Bernstein since the Spring Nationals in Columbus. He's with Steve.
Well, Kenny, was there a time there on the quarter-mile route that you thought, I've got it, I'm going to the finals?
Yeah, I didn't see him. I didn't see him till between the middle light and the last light. That's when I saw him. I didn't see him till then.
Tires get a little loose?
Yeah, I smoked the tires in high gear, Dale said, and it was all over the place like it's been in Columbus, and, it was driving. It just got loose out there, but like I said, I still didn't see him and I thought I had made the middle light, but, he deserves it, whatever.
So Bernstein goes to the sidelines, and now the question is, will Larson face Don Prudhomme or Dale Polday, who's in the far lane?
What a dramatic contrast in crews here, Gary. Davey Settles, a graduate engineer for Polday, or Mike Clover for Prudhomme, who's just a new kid on the block.
Both men staged and ready as Prudhomme inches in, waiting for the lights. Here they go, and Prudhomme on the near side gets the advantage on the jump. And for the second consecutive series event, Prudhomme will go to the finals. He'll face Bruce Larson after Prudhomme runs off of 5:49 at 257 miles per hour. So the final pairing has Larson against Prudhomme, and Prudhomme has lane choice. Meanwhile, back in the Top Fuel pit area, in Eddie Hill's pit area specifically, Buzzy Carter and the crew going through this maintenance procedure for the 9th time. That's how many times it takes you through qualifying, through eliminations, to get to the finals. Meanwhile, Steve Evans is in the Joe Amato pit.
The Joe Amato crew has been playing musical motors all weekend long because of a rash of broken exhaust rocker arms. Let's take a look at a cylinder head that just came off of the engine before it goes to the finals. Now, this is the intake side where the fuel goes into the cylinders. These are the intake rocker arms. Break one of these, disaster. Fire comes up through the hole into the manifold, blows the supercharger off. They've been breaking one of these, an exhaust rocker arm. Now, nothing that dramatic happens, but what does happen is when that cylinder won't accept the boost, it goes to all of the other 7, leans out the engine, burns all of the pistons, and usually does some damage to the camshaft, and it's faster to change motors than it is to try to repair it. I'm happy to report that all 8 exhaust rocker arms are in one piece. There'll be no engine change for Joe going into the finals.
And so, the Summer National final rounds are coming up next. Nationals ready for the Pro Stock final. Bob Glidden in the final round against Jerry Ekman. Both men with major mechanical changes in preparation for the finals.
That's right. Jerry Ekman has installed a new transmission, and over here we're looking at a man who installed a new engine, but one he's very comfortable with. That's the very same motor he qualified with at 7:38 earlier in the event. Let's go to Don Garlitz in the staging lanes.
As we prepare for the Funny Car final, we have 2 cars. Don Prudhomme over here, his job is to try to repeat the performance that he had from the last round, a 5:49, a very impressive run. But sometimes it's not easy to repeat when you're running good. Little things make a lot of differences. On the other hand, Bruce Larson over here, he's got to pick up nearly a 1/10 of a second. Now, that's possible. He's ran that good before, but this is a hot afternoon, and the air is changing. So can the crew do it? Can they get Bruce that extra 1/10 that he needs? You're just going to have to wait and see.
But first, of course, as the skies get darker and there is definitely a smell of rain in the air, we're ready for the Pro Stock Finals. Glidden, a winner twice in the Summer Nationals against the defending Summer Nationals champion Ekman. Ekman in the yellow car in the far lane. Glidden in the red and white, both men away. Glidden with an obvious advantage. Now they pull even coming down the strip. This is anybody's race, but Glidden makes it 3 times as the Summer Nationals champion, his second win of the year. The final numbers 746, 185 miles per hour against Ekman's 754, 183.
Glidden definitely made the right move, Gary, when he put that fresh motor in, because he's going to need every bit of it. You could see a little bit of smoke come out of Ekman's car as they left the line, but Ekman was still hanging on side by side as they reached the halfway mark. But the more powerful motor of Glidden began to pay off, and he eased that Thunderbird right out in front of him just before they got to the end.
And Glidden now at the far end is with Steve Evans.
We've talked about the family effort behind the Glidden Thunderbird before on Sports World, but today it was dramatic in its demonstration and its execution. A motor change-up. Everybody stayed cool.
Well, we had plenty of time, Steve, and this is the engine we ran 738 with, so we felt confident. I thought this engine was maybe a little bit on the better side. The boys thought the other one was, so we stayed with the other one. Come on in here, Jerry.
Jerry Ekman, who fought the good fight, trying to be the repeat champion. 46 on the final.
I owed this guy one. I told you before this run.
Well, in this instance, both men smiling. Glidden gets the Summer Nationals championship. And we're ready now for the funny car finals. It'll be Don Prudhomme going against Bruce Larson.
And even though Prudhomme has the lane choice, Gary, that doesn't mean much today. The lane has been very even. And remember, Larson has knocked out 2 of the big guns, including Bernstein. So he knows how to go quick. Prudhomme has got his work cut out for it this afternoon.
And off the line, Prudhomme gets the jump, and he's on his way to his second straight series victory. Clover and the crew react. 541 best ET of the weekend, 257 miles per hour, and Prudhomme has the shootout as he slows it down at the far end.
By ever the slimmest of margins, Prudhomme does get the starting line advantage. But right then, the race begins to tell a tale. Look at the flames come out of the headers on that Prudhomme car as that big 500 cubic inch engine makes the horses that puts daylight between him and Larson as he hits the finish line.
And the winningest driver in Summer Nationals history savors his 6th championship. Steve Evans is there.
The snake comes out of the car and falls to his knees. You're the first repeat winner of 88. How about low elapsed time of the entire event? 5:41. The ride of your life.
Yeah, that's great. You know, my crew, like I was telling you earlier, Mike Clover, Dana Kimball, all the guys in the crew, they just done a great job in the car. I don't think it was for them we wouldn't win this race. They come up with some good stuff.
You told me earlier it'll cool off, the track will be better. You called it.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping for that, you know, and there's been a lot of help in this car. You know, it's just not me calling it. A lot of the guys have, and I got to thank Skoll and Pontiac and, you know, Performance Corner, people like that.
I just got the feeling early on that you found something. You're not going to talk about it. You found something.
Yeah, that's right. We sure have, you know, but it didn't come easy. It's been really a struggle, and I always said when I came back, I'd like to come back strong.
And this racetrack has been so good to you for so long.
Yes, it has. We really enjoy it here. Wish it was a little cooler, but...
Next year.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Just want to thank everybody.
There's no mistake now. The snake is back. The Top Fuel Finals coming up. Fuzzy Carter and the crew have Eddie Hill ready. Meanwhile, Tim Richards and his crew have done all of their work. Amato awaits the finals. Hill and Amato, Top Fuel Eliminator Championship on the line in a moment. The 47-year-old veteran, Don Prudhomme, savoring still another victory in his storied career.
Thanks, Don. Oh, what a laugh. Thanks.
And at the opposite end of the track and the staging lanes rolling into positions now, we're ready for burnouts. First from Eddie Hill, who'll be going against Joe Amato. Hill, a 2-time winner this year, heating the tires against the threatening skies of New Jersey. Amato now doing the same. It's showdown time in the Summer Nationals. And remember, these men have met 2 times previously this year in the finals. Both times it was Hill a winner. Now, there are more people than the crew chiefs who are hard at work here. The wives of both of the final drivers play big roles. Jerry with Joe Amato, Ursi Hill with Eddie.
Well, Ersie Hill may be working in a beautiful ultra-modern 45-foot trailer, but the work is just as hard and just as hot.
I'm afraid so. Whoever wins this one is going to deserve it. 9 rounds in this heat. It's really hot and humid.
You know, it wasn't too long ago that you and Eddie would sleep in your trailer because you couldn't afford a hotel room. It wasn't nearly this nice a trailer, right?
No, it was pretty hot in there, too. But it was nice and cozy. It was kind of fun.
You got to be proud to see what all you've earned through hard racing.
Oh, yeah. We've come a long way due to a lot of people that have helped us along the way. We don't want to take all the credit. Nice sponsorships and stuff like that. Great crew. We have to give them credit for that.
As much as you and Eddie love to race, could you go back to the pull-along days, the barnstorming days, and still have fun?
I could do it, but I sure wouldn't want to.
The comments earlier today of Ersie Hill as she now places her husband Eddie in his final position, ready to go in the Top Fuel final showdown against Joe Amato.
At this point, both drivers holding their breath. Eddie Hill backs up for just an instant. He's looking for exactly the right place to stage, and now he has found it. Eddie Hill versus Joe Amato. Raw fuel streaming out of the header pipe of Eddie Hill. They have got that engine hopped up, Don Garland.
Popped up isn't the word for it. They've got the can, the label, everything in those things. There's as much nitro in those two engines that you can get in them.
And here we go. Amato on the near side. Problems for Hill. And Amato, for the first time this year, after being a runner-up on 4 occasions, finally has a victory. Disappointment, of course, for Hill. Let's go back now and check in with crew chief Tim Richards.
I'm going to start calling you King Richard.
Well, we're fortunate today. We've been in this runner-up role a number of times, especially at this racetrack, and every once in a while, sooner or later, it has to come your way. And Joe did a good job today, and the crew, we had 4 motors in the car since we came here, and there wasn't any more left in that cupboard, and we're thankful.
Well, that top speed of the event on that previous round shows you got the horsepower.
Oh, yeah, it's important that we get that top speed because we don't want to give that 50 points away every race. That's very important. Thanks.
Well, that 50 points that Richards alludes to goes to the man who has the top speed of the meets. And you get down to the end of the season, it could be oh so important. Amato is now with Steve.
After 6 months, been a long time.
After all those final rounds, Bonnie, the win light is in your lane the first time in '88.
When I saw Eddie disappear, when we were side by side and he just went back, I knew something happened to him. He smoked the tires, and my fist went up in victory because I just was so excited. I almost forgot to pull the parachute. But my guys worked so hard this weekend. We had to put 4 motors in. We changed them. We were here experimenting, testing, changing parts. I mean, every one of them. They did
a nice 5:30 to climax things.
Well, you know, we like to run faster. You always like to go for track record and all, but we'll take it. A win is a win any way you get it.
Now, who could that be coming down that road? Jerry Amato, Tim Richards, and one of the finest crews in all of Top Fuel Racing.
Joe.
So a big, big day for some of the biggest names in the sport. Joe Amato continues his celebration after winning Top Fuel Eliminator, Don Prudhomme and Funny Cars, and of course Bob Glidden back as a winner in Pro Stock. And checking the points, by virtue of his victory, Amato now leads the point standings 132 over Hill and Top Fuel. Oswald, Bernstein, Force, and look at Prudhomme now in the top 5 in Funny Car as that tight battle continues. And in Pro Stock, only 206 points separating the top 3 of Allen, Christian, and Glidden. For Steve Evans and Don Garlitz, I'm Gary Gerald saying so long from the Summer Nationals in Old Bridge Township, New Jersey.